In just about one more day, we will finally get to see the Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal. A lot of creators were invited and we will get to see their gameplay as we learn more about the mechanics, features, classes, vehicles, and much more on the 31st. So far, the trailer gave me hope that Battlefield 6 will be a better, more grounded to its roots experience, and I thought I'd share with you my wish list on what I would love to see on the multiplayer reveal. An honorable mention before the list begins is I wish to see a full-on, unaltered, unedited gameplay to get a good feel of what this game will offer. Alright, so let's start this list off with maps. And not just one map, but at least 3 unique maps, each containing a unique playstyle and flow. I hope to see one map be infantry focused with tight corners in an urban setting, another map that's more vehicle focused with larger, more open areas, and another map that would have more vertical play like cliffs and hills with a mix of helicopters and jets. What would really be an awesome feature is dynamic time of day. For example, like if I load into a map called The Town, not every single time I load into it is the same time of day. I might get an early morning, an evening, and even a nighttime setting. What made me think of this is that the trailer showed a couple of nighttime clips, like the bridge scene where they blew it up, as well as the night vision scene. I know that it's most likely a campaign setting, but it would be really odd to not even have night maps, even though they literally showed us using night vision in the campaign. So yeah, I'd love to see dynamic time of day as well as it being mixed with like dynamic weather. It can encourage players to change their playstyle depending on the time of day, and just to keep the same map fresh every time. The next on my list are the classes. I hope to see how each class is used and what their gadgets consist of. Hopefully the gadgets are locked. I would also want there to be a soldier customization section where you can equip your soldier with different outfits, clothing pieces, and accessories similar to Ghost Recon Wildlands and the finals, but with more restrictions. Like for example, you're changing your support soldier to have an ammo belt around their shoulders or a medic bag with defibrillators hanging to the side. Those types of customizations are only for the support. For Recon, you can change the type of ghillie suit they have, and that is only for them, and so on with the rest of the classes. That way it would still be easy to identify your enemy and to let your squad mates have better intel. But not all have to be class restricted. Clothing like boots, gloves, pants, glasses, etc. can be universal, but the main look of each class has to be distinct. And to add a very specific note on customization, I absolutely do not want any weird, funky, bright, childlike skins in this game. I only want grounded outfits and accessories. Please, DICE, or in this case, please, Battlefield Studios. The next on the list I want to see are 2 games played on the same map, one showing off unlocked weapons and the other showing class locked weapons. Now, me personally, I'm on the side of class-locked weapons, specifically due to it being that way before as a foundation of Battlefield, but also for immersion and strategic planning. However, if the final product has unlocked weapons, I guess that's something I should get used to, although I may have an idea for a middle ground on unlocked weapons, specifically Battlefield Studios' signature weapon idea. I would love for them to expand on it to where signature weapons for each class has its pros and non-signature weapons has cons. Yes, I said it. Cons, nerfs, inconveniences, those kind of things. For example, if you're playing Recon, your signature weapons are snipers and DMRs. When equipped with a sniper, you have certain buffs like less weapon sway, less scope glint, increased time of spotting an enemy, holding your breath longer, an increase in rechamber speed if full action, and a signature buff on top of that only applies to the Recon, is if the Recon gets a headshot, then the downed enemy cannot be revived. Any other body shot though can be revived. This only will apply to Recon signature weapons, and it will give players an incentive to choose Recon to test their aim and possibly take control to win the match. However, if Recon does not equip a signature weapon but spawns in with an LMG, then there are cons for using it. A couple of examples would include increased recoil, slower sprint speed, slower reload speed, and less ammo. It can still be used and tolerable, but it will give the players an idea that the Recon class isn't the best when paired with a light machine gun. That is kind of the general concept of what I would rather have if the final game has unlocked weapons. Like, you can use them, however, it comes with the cost of negatives, so it will encourage more signature weapon use. But another surprise would be faction-locked weapons, but I don't think you are ready for that conversation. Moving on to the next on the list is the vehicles. I hope we get to see most, if not all, the vehicles in the reveal, and hopefully get a return to the controls that Battlefield 3 and 4 had, where there is a bit of a learning curve. However, I would not be opposed to an assisted control toggle in the options, where like newer players who just want simple controls and jump right in can do so. One thing that I hope they reveal is naval combat. I have not seen any information or tweet from Battlefield Studios talking about boats or naval combat. The only thing I assume we would get right now are transport boats and those land and sea transport vehicles we've seen in the trailer. But my wish is for them to do a surprise reveal on naval combat. So let's hope so. Oh, also, C4 and Jeeps better be shown there. Next on the list I wish to see is amplified destruction. Since it is confirmed that Battlefield 6 will only be on current gen consoles and PC, then I assume with less limitations, there will be an increase to destruction details, like more particles, debris that stays, real-time collapsing buildings, and more detailed craters. Specifically craters not just on the grass and mud, but craters on asphalt with cracks and pieces of rock scattered. I also would not mind Levolution returning, where it can completely change the experience of the map. Although, with more freedom for more destruction, I personally still would want some structures to stand as a design choice. That way the map can still have cover points and not be fully leveled out like a Minecraft flat world. The next thing on the list I would hope for the reveal is showing us all the standard game modes in each map and see how they all play out. Of course, we all know about Conquest, Rush, and Breakthrough, but what would really blow me away is if they showcased a new game mode. Obviously, it's not confirmed anywhere, but it would be refreshing to get something new. Like, I have a game mode idea where it utilizes night vision. It's kind of like Sharks and Minnows, where all light sources in the map are off, and you have to cross a certain part of the map without being killed. It's a 1 life, 16-player mode where 8 defenders have flashlight attachments on the shotguns, and 8 escapers have night vision and are equipped with pistols that only have 1 mag in them. The goal is for the escapers to escape into an evac zone while the defenders have to stop them. There is a line that the defenders can't cross, so there won't be any evacuation camping or spawn killing. Each player on either side has an RPG or grenade launcher to push through buildings, so again, utilizing the destruction. The escapers would have flashbangs and decoys to disorientate the defenders, but the defenders have flares to see ahead of them, as well as blinding the escapers' night vision. There's many more I can talk about, and I don't even know why I'm going on about this made-up game mode, but again, this is possible because maybe if it's not official, we might be able to create something like that on Portal 2.0. Let me know what you think though. And of course, moving on to the last on my list is after the reveal, we get to see an open beta date where we can all jump in and try it out. Maybe even add a little teaser to their Battle Royale game mode reveal as well. But one thing that would be disappointing is that the only way to access the beta is to pre-order it. I don't think that would happen given the way they are taking things careful now, but knowing EA, it might change that. If it does come to it, I encourage you guys to not pre-order it. But if you really need that itch scratched and want to try out the beta, then my advice is pre-order to try it out, and if any red flags occur or you are just not feeling it, then cancel the pre-order. At least that's what I will do. But realistically, I do not think that's the case, and we will all experience the open beta. All in all, I'm kind of excited, and the biggest wish for Battlefield 6 is to succeed and be a legendary game for many years. That's about all I have on my wish list for the reveal and future of Battlefield. Let me know what you think. Are there any ideas you agree with, or is there something I didn't mention that you hope gets shown on the 31st? Let me know down in the comments. I hope it all works out, and I will be covering the multiplayer reveal to talk about with you guys what I liked and didn't like, and to see how much of my wish list has been confirmed. Stay tuned for the next video. Give a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.